In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the new Black Mountain slide ring, which allows you to seamlessly switch between normal fretted guitar playing and slide guitar playing, as well as a few of my favorite blues licks you can do with this unique slide, and in standard tuning, so you don't have to worry about retuning your guitar. So the first things first, how to wear the slide ring. The slide ring comes in 3 different sizes: small, regular, and extra large. All sizes fit securely because of this unique spring fit design. For me, I find that the regular size to be the most comfortable as far as the weight and the feel. Now, while many of us usually wear a traditional slide on our ring or pinky finger, the best finger for the Black Mountain slide is the middle finger. And the reason for that is because it allows you to keep certain areas of your finger free to play things like bar chords, and bendy phrases. And you want to position the slide ring in the middle segment of the finger to allow your middle finger to still bend and be able to fret strings. Now, before you start sliding around, try fretting some of your favorite chords. Things like open chords, and maybe a couple fretted licks. Just to make sure that the slide is in the right part of the finger and out of the way. To play slide notes, and if you're new to slide altogether, as with any slide, you want to float the slide on the top of the string right over the actual metal fret. So real quick, I'm in standard tuning, and I'm just going to take this note on the 2nd string, 5th fret, which is going to be our E note. So I'm just floating the slide right over the metal portion of the fret. I'm not pressing down on the fret. I'm actually floating the slide ever so gently on top of the string right over the metal fret. So something that you can practice doing is just playing a note and using the lightest pressure possible, gradually put down more pressure until the note rings out true. So I'm going to lightly press on the string, and you're going to hear it buzz a little bit until I finally put enough pressure down. Right there. And you can shake the note a little bit and get a little vibrato so you can hear it really sustaining. And if you're pressing down too hard and you do that, it's going to sound like this, which is not what you want. You want it to really ring as much as possible. And sustain as much as possible. And when you're doing this, you want to position the slide right over the actual metal fret, not on the fretboard. Because if you position the slide over the fretboard where we normally would fret the string, it's going to sound a little bit flat. Here's the note that we want, but if I position my slide over that area on the fretboard, it's going to sound flat. So the proper positioning is the slide over top of the metal fret. And what I like to do is I like to check that by playing the fretted note and then moving my slide until those notes match. And when I hear that they're in tune, I can see that my slide is directly over the metal fret. But just use your ears and only put down enough pressure so that the string rings out cleanly. Now, this slide ring has over 50 grams of steel, which is pretty close to the weight of some of my normal slides. And in general, usually the heavier the slide, the smoother the feel, and the more sustain you're gonna get. Back to playing in tune. This is called intonation, or playing in tune. It's one of the hardest things to do when you're first starting out with slide, And it really comes down to your ear and hearing when the note is in tune. I already showed you one thing you can do with fretting the note and playing a slide note until it's in tune. Another simple exercise I like to do is letting an open string ring out while I'm sliding to the same note, like an octave or two above, so you can hear both notes perfectly or close to perfectly in tune. So what I'll do, since we're in standard tuning, is I'll play the 6th string low E open, and I might try to find different E notes on the other strings. So that's too flat, but I can hear that's pretty in tune. Okay, vibrato is one of the unique characteristics of slide guitar. And other than being a really cool effect, it's also a way to kind of hover around the note so you don't have to concentrate so hard on being perfectly in tune. You can have a little bit of vibrato. You can have a lot of wide vibrato. Different speeds, you know, slow. Or really fast. A couple tips: try to strive for a consistent movement and speed. Even though I'm not really thinking about playing in time, I can tell that my movement is pretty consistent. And a lot of that, to me, I think is like muscle memory, which you'll get used to. But try to keep it consistent. Try not to go all over the place with speed. You know, so to really get your slide notes clean, it's very common practice to lightly mute behind the slide with your adjacent finger. In this case, I'm laying down my index finger across the string behind the slide, just to prevent any excess string noise. Now, conversely, if you want a dirtier, rattier sound, sometimes when I'm playing like acoustic slide, I kind of like that sound. You can slide without the muting, and you can get some really cool, vibey, dirty sounds. Now, we've been talking about the slide hand this whole time, but there's some important technique happening with our picking or plucking hand. When playing slide, especially when we're playing single notes, it's very common for other strings to ring out unintentionally. So to remedy that, we have to mute those strings with our plucking hand. Now, when I play slide, I prefer to use my fingers. And for this reason, I can use all of my free fingers and different parts of my hand to mute the adjacent strings. If I didn't use any muting with my right hand, it would sound like this. And it's even worse when I do multiple string changes. So if I did a lick like this, you hear all of those notes kind of ringing out together. Now watch what happens when I'm able to mute the strings that I'm not intending to play. And the way that I'm doing it is, so for instance, let's say I'm on the first string and I'm playing some notes on the first string. You can see that my thumb is laying down on the second string, and then the rest of my hand is kind of rolled over on the other strings to mute them. So even though I'm plucking that first string, you can't, that's all muted. All the, second through the sixth string is all muted. So nothing's going to, none of the other strings are going to ring out. Now, when I move over to the second string, I'm plucking with my index finger, by the way. And when I move down to the second string, right now, I'm plucking with my index finger still. My thumb moves down to the third string, and my hand rolls over on the bottom strings. But on the top, I'm covering the high E string with these three fingers right here. See that? And I kind of do that with every string that I'm going to. So I'm making sure that I'm muting the adjacent strings that I'm not playing. Now you can absolutely do this if you want to play with a pick. It's just a little bit different. But even with the pick, I'm still muting with, you know, the palm of my hand and my 3 free fingers. So now I want to show you 3 cool licks that combine your fretting fingers and the Black Mountain Slide ring. And if you'd like to download the tabs for these, the link is down in the description. Now with these 3 licks, I'm going to arrange them from easiest to more advanced. And by the way, all of these licks are going to be in standard tuning and in the key of E. So here's lick number 1. Slowly. So what I'm doing here is I am hammering on the 2nd string from open to the 2nd fret, plucking the high E, 1st string, open, and then I'm sliding up to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. And I'm starting my slide around the 3rd fret, giving it a little bit of vibrato at the end. Okay, here is the 2nd lick. Slow down. So similar to the very first lick, we're starting out with fretting notes and ending on slide notes. So we're basically playing this kind of triad lick, 3rd string, 9th fret, and I'm sliding or maybe hammering on from the 8th to the 9th fret on the 2nd string. Whatever you feel. I'll do a hammer on. 7th fret, 1st string. 7th fret, 9th fret. So that's the 1st fretted part. And then I'm sliding up to the E note on the 12th fret, 1st string. So all together. Okay, that brings us to the 3rd lick. Okay, there's a lot going on here. So I'm starting this figure on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and the fretted notes go like this. So I'm hitting 3rd string, 4th fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, open, 1st string. And then from there, I'm sliding on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and I'm kind of sliding slightly up and then pulling off. I mean, you can, if you want, you can start as low as the 2nd fret. Anywhere in between the 2nd and the 3rd fret is your starting position for the slide. But you want that movement where you're kind of sliding up and then pulling off. It's very vocal in that sense. So after I do the pull off, then I'm hitting 2nd string, 5th fret, sliding down to the 3rd fret. And then I'm pulling off. Slowly, right? And then ending the lick with a series of fretted notes. And this is kind of a hybrid picking thing that I do. So I'm doing this lick. Which is a slide from 3 to 2 on the 3rd string to a pull off to 0 to open. But when I'm doing that, when I hit the first note, I'm plucking the open first string. So it sounds like this. And then I'm hitting the root note, second string on the fourth string, second fret. So up to speed. Okay friends, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. And if you'd like more info on the Black Mountain slide ring or to purchase one, the link is in the description. Thanks again for watching this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, gear demos and guitar lessons, make sure you click the subscribe button. I'm RJ Ronquillo and I'll see you in the next video.